Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Capricorn. This is going to be for January 19th to the 25th. And we're going to get right into pulling out your romance angel messages to see what those messages for the week may be. And then we'll get into your animal spirits and we'll get right into your forecast for the week. All right, Capricorn? Don't forget to check out your other readings. They're all linked in the description below. Let's just see what the romance angel messages are this week for you. Just take what applies to you. If it doesn't apply, it's not for you. Let it go. All right, Capricorn. We have let your friends help you. This is a nice energy. Release your ex. Time to let go of some energy and trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. All right, so interesting. These are very complimentary messages, right? So you may resonate, with more than one of them, depending on your situation. Let's get your animal spirits out. Coming towards the end of your month, we're going to be entering into Aquarius very soon. Yes, Aquarius is next. So there's a few more days left for you guys still. Capricorn energy is strong in the air. Let's just see what your last week for your birthday month is going to hold. The deer is the card for the mother, the new mother. The sea serpent, associated with this second chakra. And we have the fox. All right, earth energy, both earth and the second chakra. All right, guys, let's get right into it. The deer is associated with strong feminine energy. This is oftentimes the card, the animal spirit for the mother. And so this is a time when you need to be very alert, right? Very observant, protective, right? Aware in a really practical way, right? Something in your life requires your attention to protect it while it's growing, right? Whether it be a creative idea, whether it is an actual baby. Some of you may be having children. In any case, dear energy is just simply associated with that strong feminine mother energy of protectiveness, nurturing, and at the same time being extremely alert and extremely sort of strong, right? And determined to protect your baby, as it were, right? Whether that be anything, even if your baby is an endeavor or a new business or a new objective, a new project you're on, or if it's a relationship or if it's an actual child, whatever it is that you seek that is a form of creative expression. And a baby, of course, is the highest. Still, it's the same energy. It still all requires that very nurturing motherly energy. Now, the sea serpent is associated with alchemical symbol for ether or spirit, and it is the animal spirit for the second chakra, the kundalini energy, the energy that we associate with our passions, our sexual forward energy, our libido, right? And also, this is where the energy in terms of wanting to be highly creative in our lives comes from. That all comes from that area in the second chakra area, which is deep within the pelvic bowl, right? The first chakra is at the base of the spine. The second chakra is in the pelvic bowl. And so what we find there is that we find that is where our sort of potential resides, our desire to go out, our desire to be sort of unique or to express ourselves creatively, the way we dress, it's all of these things are forms of creative expression, and they all have a lot to do with our level of desire to sort of go out into the world, right? That's all comes from that area. There's that fire there. And that also is the same area for sort of sexual aggression as well, in terms of are you willing to go out and flirt and be very creative in that way as well. This all kind of is the same area. In any case, the sea serpent talks about really a time in your life where you're beginning to sort of get right into that energy, maybe open up that chakra a little bit and sort of allow yourself to be much more creative, allow yourself to have, to be led by your passion a little bit, right? And to overcome the fear of possibly, nobody understanding or accepting your creative expression, just to letting go, so that you can actually fulfill that desire. It's a very nice energy indeed. And fox energy comes in for you as well, another earth energy. Now the fox is interesting because the fox is really the card for the perfect partner in crime, right? The perfect love partner as well. The fox is a very strong, wise energy, very talented, very charming. They're one of these sort of animal spirits that mate for life. And when you're involved with someone who resonates with fox energy, they're just like the perfect sort of boyfriend or girlfriend, because they're independent, yet at the same time they're there to help you. They love you. They care for you. They always keep the relationship sort of charming and hot and exciting because they have their own sense of charm, right? And creativity. And so the fox is a really lovely animal spirit to be with in a relationship. Let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out about 3 forecasts for you. These forecasts are intended to be for separate Capricorn, right? They're separate outlooks. 6 of Cups fell out. And we're just going to see, right? So what you may or may not be going through this week, what your week may involve. So if it resonates with you, fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. This still can't be for all Capricorn, so we know that. So if it doesn't apply to you, just let it go. It's not for you. So let's just see what Capricorn is dealing with January 19th through to the 25th. All right, you have 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Wow. So some of you are coming into this week, you've really been sort of, thinking about an ex maybe, right? A past relationship that really was painful. The loss was quite painful. This week there could be a feeling of releasing your ex. There could be a feeling of letting your friends help you as well. You may be a little bit resistant to that. Maybe there is issues to do with trust because you come into the week with a 5 of Cups, so you're feeling quite down. You're really sort of thinking about past relationships right now. You may have come across somebody, an ex of yours. You may have bumped into them in the last few weeks and it suddenly brought it all back to you. In any case, this is really conscious in your mind, right? A feeling of still having a connection to the past. A feeling of still having a connection to the past. A feeling of, still kind of mourning perhaps even the loss of a relationship. Still being quite sad about it. It could be also a feeling of pessimism about the future, because generally 5 of Cups also indicates that you're wallowing. It's not that you're wallowing in it, but this is a bit of an internal struggle, right? Because part of this is, your desire to hold on to it, right? Sometimes we have to work a little bit harder at sort of raising up our spirits and just looking to the future, being positive about the future, because there are 2 upraised cups there. And in general, 5 of Cups is a situation where there's no indication that every relationship is going to be bad, and you have every indication that you have good relationships on the horizon. However, part of the reason you're not manifesting that is that because you're still holding on to a bit of the past. And so this could certainly relate to releasing an ex-Capricorn. You come into this week with a 4 of Cups energy, and it's quite interesting. That's the energy you're met with. And I'm wondering, this could indeed be you, right? People may be trying to help you through this. You may be unwilling to accept their help right now, right, this week. Some of this energy is what you're resonating with. And it could be that you really should be letting your friends help you. Don't try to, if you're having trouble getting over this ex, it could be that, your close friends, the ones that you trust, right, are there to help you. Certainly ones that are there to help you sort of lift your spirits. By the end of the week, you are resonating with a Page of Swords. Now, Page of Swords energy is a feeling of beginning to feel more positive, right? To be sort of combat like your own sort of self-doubt or the self-doubt of others. And so it could very well be that some of you this week, when this cup of love comes in from your friends to help you, it could very well be that you do indeed take it and it helps. You know what I mean? And that it helps you release your ex as well. Some of you are going to be very resistant though, right? It could just be that you're having trust issues with your friends, right? And if that's the case, then I can understand your resistance. But oftentimes, Four of Cups is a feeling of, it can also be a feeling that, you're kind of like being overly critical or you're being overly stubborn about a situation that you really do need to sort of allow people in to help you. Not everything can be done on its own, right? And if you do that, you will sort of overcome to a certain degree a feeling of doubt and negativity, because it's a brave thing to do to let somebody in. All right, Capricorn, some of you may indeed be following this advice, hopefully, and letting some of your friends in. Judgment, Queen of Swords, and the Sun. So this is interesting because this is along the same lines. Some of you are coming in this week and realizing that you've been overcritical, perhaps, of a situation, and you're starting to feel a level of compassion coming in. Judgment is all about sort of facing up to your own sort of guilt, right, and releasing that guilt, having more compassion for others, being able to see a situation from more sides, being in some ways being less critical, and in some ways being better discerning. You know what I mean? And so understanding a lot more, still seeing more, still being able to judge a situation, but being able to judge a situation from a much more expanded point of view rather than from such a constricted and critical point of view, which is where we oftentimes kind of just see things in black and white, right? In any case, this is a feeling of kind of really releasing some constricted energy and maybe even wanting to reconcile a particular situation. You come into this week with a Queen of Swords energy, and I'm going to say that this week for you, it almost feels as a result of this energy that you're feeling and this kind of release that you're having within yourself, right? Beginning to sort of understand yourself and understand others more. This week you're coming in and certain events in your life are causing you to be very much Queen of Swords. So now you're also embodying this feeling of, or the action of really showing people who you are. Because the Queen of Swords is very forward. She has sort of her whole heart in her expressions and communication. She's very honest about who she is. She doesn't sort of take any prisoners. She doesn't cut any kind of corners. She refuses to sort of play any kind of role that somebody may try to put her into, or play victim or anything like that. She's very clear in who she is and her identity. She's very proud of it. And she has a very clear thinking as a result of it. She can see things very, very clearly. She's worked hard to get to that position. I feel like you're resonating with this energy this week. As a result of it, you're also realizing, or you're certainly expecting those around you to be just as honest with you. And oftentimes when we embody this Queen of Swords energy, it can be a time in our lives where we begin to see our friends for who they are. We begin to see that certain friends, we just begin to see who they are, right? In terms of which friends are genuinely trustworthy and loyal, which friends have really been sucking our energy and really shouldn't, we shouldn't really be dealing with them on that level. There are a lot of kind of dysfunctional friendships out there also. It's not only love relationships, but it can very much be any kind of relationship. It can be a work relationship that's dysfunctional, that's allowed to become unprofessional in some way and therefore dysfunctional, or it can be a friendship that you may have with certain type of people that you realize all they ever do is suck your energy, and it's just not a healthy friendship. In any case, this is the energy that can kind of root that all out, because now you're not willing to sort of toe the line anymore, right? You're not willing to just pretend that you enjoy, things that you don't enjoy. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not wearing any kind of mask, and therefore those around you have to be the same way. You round your week off with sun energy and everything starts to get a lot clearer. So you even get more reaffirmation coming in. Sun is clarity coming in, and so when the sun comes in, it's almost as if even more sort of clarity is being shown on your relationships, your connections, your environment, and you're really going to come out of this period having not only released a lot of negative energy, but seeing things for the first time as clearly as possible, and therefore being able to sort of also clear out anything that you no longer want. You also will be able to see the road a lot clearer to whatever you truly desire. Some of you will be maybe even cutting off relationships with people that no longer serve for your, sort of ultimate betterment. All right, this is your last spread. Six of Pentacles, Death, and the Magician. Wow, some of you... Wow, again, this was interesting because this was almost a spread similar to what Sagittarius had. Some of you are Six of Pentacles, and you are coming in this week really being sort of called upon to help somebody out. You're being very sort of, well, let me put it to you this way. You may be working sort of in charitable areas. You may be sort of supporting someone financially in a mentor kind of way. Someone is calling upon you perhaps to help them in that way, right? Or in any case, you certainly have a certain level of abundance, Capricorn, whoever's resonating with this, that you can help somebody out financially. Whether this is a friend or whether this is just the type of work that you're getting into. Some of you may be getting into this kind of work where you are working much more with sort of altruistic sort of objectives or goals, humanitarian goals. You may be working with children. You may be working with the poor. You may be setting up a foundation. Whatever the case may be, Six of Pentacles is generally a place in our lives where we have a harmonious relationship with our finances. We have enough abundance coming in to be able to take care of ourselves, and we also have enough abundance coming in that we can share of what we have, and we wish to do that. And this is a nice harmonious connection that we want to have with the material world, right? We want it to be in balance. And this can often happen when, for instance, you have a lot of money or you reach a certain level of success, and now all of a sudden you are getting into that kind of area. In any case, whether it's new to you or not, you're really working on that this week. You're coming into the week with this energy. You're met with the Death card, and it's interesting because your whole life kind of changes in a lot of ways this week. There's a huge transformation that comes in. And I wonder if this is not only the death of your previous life, because it could be that this kind of level of abundance has only recently come in. And so death has been, coming up. It's been building up, right, since before this, right, this transformation. But it can also be that as a result of this work that you're doing this week, there is also another transformation that's happening in terms of you really finding an ability in yourself or a quality in yourself that you didn't realize you had, because you round the week off with Magician energy. And it seems to me that for some of you, this may indeed be a new level of financial stability that you're at. You may have just achieved a sort of level of stability where you can now give of yourself, give of your money, do charitable work, etc., like that. But in any case, somehow by acting like this or intentionally working in this way, there's a huge transformation that's coming, that's already been underway, but it's kind of finalized this week. You come out of it with a newfound sort of talent or passion. It could be that you found out that you were really good at working with this, right? It could be that you found out this is something you really want to do. You may find that you have a particular skill in fundraising or in working in a particular field. In any case, it's a giving sort of path, right? It can be a work path. It is a Pentacles energy, so it can be associated with a career path, but it can be certainly working for nonprofit, something like that, right? Or something that helps in some way others, that is not necessarily a capitalistic endeavor, but where your joy comes in other ways, and you find yourself having this real magical quality with this. and that you have perhaps even a real desire and talent for it. It's real interesting. This is a real shift for some of you. It's sea serpent energy earlier when I said to you, some of you are going to be awakening to certain creative abilities. This could be one of them for you. A real awakening of a certain sort of ability that you have that makes you sort of feel very good, that's very creative, and that has something to do with this field, and certainly this full transformation coming in. It's very nice indeed, guys. And once again, I love your readings, Capricorn. They're always so interesting. They always have something, some mix of creativity and work involved, because you are, of course, the Capricorn associated with devil energy, which is that creative sort of endeavor and that sort of passion. In any case, this is your reading, January 19th to the 25th. I hope you enjoyed it, but for right now, just check out your other videos that are linked in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a wonderful week, Capricorn, and I shall see you next week for your weekly. Bye-bye now.